It's so refreshing having a relationship with my siblings. And there was a point in time where I didn't have a relationship with my siblings because I think I approached our relationship as more of a deputy parent than I did as a sister. And something that helps me or guides me in having conversations with my siblings, because sometimes, if like I've been trained in being a disciplinarian and I'm a very strict person, I've been trained in being a deputy parent for so long. But something that I always invite into conversations whenever I'm talking to my siblings is I actively think to myself when my brother says something where I'm like, the parent in me is screaming, the deputy parent is screaming, and she wants to come out, she wants to be the disciplinarian so bad. I pause and I ask myself, how would I respond if a friend spoke to me like this? Because sometimes as siblings, especially as older siblings, I'm the eldest at home, we tend to infantilize. I've been using the word infantilize quite a lot, but we tend to infantilize our younger siblings because we think they're so young, they don't know what the world has to offer, and we want to protect them from the world. But sometimes, not even sometimes, people, our siblings have to experience the world. They are people outside of being siblings. And that realization is always so mind boggling to me because I'm like, my dude, you grew up under me. What do you mean you have a whole life? You have friends, you're doing all of these things, you're living, right? And in that, I think that's what then invites me to approach it like having that sense of this is a person outside of me and outside of our siblinghood, and the things that they do are things that they are choosing to do as a person. I can be here as a guide and I can offer a listening ear, but I think there's also a thin line between, sometimes I do approach it from a deputy parent perspective of being like, okay, let's kind of sit down and think about this clearly, right? But I think in the way that I tend to approach situations where I'm like, I don't really understand what's going on here, is asking questions and understanding where you're coming from with your perspective, but that's besides the point. I think putting in the effort to think actively about how you're navigating your siblinghood with your siblings is something that really has helped me with navigating my relationship with my siblings. And it's been so interesting because my youngest brother, my first younger brother and I are like this because we've been at it, but over the last couple of years it's been tricky with my youngest brother because there's quite a significant age gap between us. And sometimes like I struggle with navigating that because I still see him as a baby, but like from time to time I have to actively, like, that needs me to actively work to be like, okay, sharp, I need to pause and break and understand that this is somebody that's growing, that has their own life, that has, all of these different opinions to me, and I need to understand where they're coming from in order for me to advise, or and the thing that I enjoy now is that we have conversations on a friendship level. We are open with each other, I mean, to the extent that they are open to each other, to me, because I still understand that some things they probably aren't like as open about, but I think I know a decent bit about my siblings to be like, hey, like, these are my friends, these are my homies for real, like those are my people. And it's been such a refreshing thing sitting down and thinking about the fact that at some point I would call home and have nothing to say to my siblings. Like I'd just be like, hey, like, oh kunjani esikolweni, oh okay, nikiendoni apho. like I had literally nothing to say, and now whenever I call my siblings I'm like, let's chat, like, what's going on, what are you doing up there, like, what's going on, what's new, who are your new friends, who are you dating, like, what other fun things are you doing, and it also started like really small with me including myself in like their things that they like to do. So I've never enjoyed soccer as a person, but I was like, this is something that both of my siblings are into, let's see, and I ended up enjoying it. But just investing in that and understanding in that so I can be a part of that conversation, showing interest in the things that they're into so I can be a part of that conversation. Really, like, I think those are some of the things that really helped with building my relationship with my siblings. And sometimes like there are things that my brothers are interested in and I'm like, oh, I don't care about this, but I care about you, so now I have to care about this, kind of thing. In the same way that you would in a friendship, like sometimes your friends likes things that you're not into, like that, and you listen to your friends speak about those things. How do you approach that from a sibling perspective as well? Just another thing that's really difficult sometimes for me is allowing my siblings to make their own decisions. I'm even like getting like, my my heart breaks every single time I can't make decisions for my siblings. But I think I found solace in asking questions about the decisions that they are making and how they think those decisions will benefit them, and like looking at the cons of the things so that we can weigh things out. and being able to guide and being like, hey, this is what I think you should do. I hear where you're coming from. Ultimately, it is your decision, but not in a way that makes my siblings feel guilty for making a decision that's against the decision that I want them to make. Because at the end of the day, that's their own person and they're choosing something for their life. It's been the most, I think that's been one of the most difficult things to date to do. Like every single time my siblings come to me with like, they want to try something new, or they're making these major significant changes in their lives, sometimes I want them to just be safe and not make decisions, but at the same time I'm like, I know for a fact that I'm a risk taker. I love taking risks. And it would be unfair of me to advise my siblings against that when I know that, they're two sides. You could either do really well or you could do really badly, but you don't know how to, like, what to do or what decision to make until you've made that decision, right? So, yeah, guys, it's tough, but it's also so, like, to be trusted by your siblings to help guide them to making a decision towards something is something that I don't know, like, it's just, I appreciate this. I appreciate it, man.